war. All I know is shoot. All I want is more, but I got some things to do. I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you. I'm a soldier, I'm a warrior. Got an emblem on my cover. And ask me what I did for ya. I put the trash deep down under. Yeah, I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you, yeah.
Took some time in the place, man, I just needed some space. Saw the pain show in my face and my heart starts to race. Band of brothers.
Oh, brother, please let us know for last thoughts, our listeners live and on podcast.
All right, we know that I do joke quite often about my attempted escapes from the psych ward, but in all seriousness, the psych ward game is seriously my idea of representing the military, representing mental health in the military community. So if you happen to run into any type of mental health crisis or emergency, do not be ashamed nor afraid to dial 988, press option 1. Again, just as I had to do when I was in a moment of crisis, do not be ashamed nor afraid to dial the digits 988, then press option 1 if you find yourself in a similar mental health crisis. Hello, and welcome to the show. Welcome to the WarDawg Trail. This is episode 84 with your host, Sergeant WarDawg. Today, I have an amazing Army veteran as well as a top-tier security professional and instructor. But before I bring him on the screen, let's go over a few announcements for today. All right. First off, this show airs every day on the military broadcast radio station. That's MBR Radio, every day from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. You can download the MBR Radio app and listen to this podcast or watch the video of this podcast. Remember, Sergeant WarDawg TV is your source for military, hunting, and outdoors TV with swag. All right, we won 2 awards last year. The first, we won from Corporate Livewire. We won Veteran Support Nonprofit Organization of the Year. The second, we won from the UK. From Acquisition International Magazine, we won Leading Veteran Welfare Outreach Nonprofit Organization. All right. I recently completed my book for my 3 tours in Iraq as a Marine rifleman in the infantry. I've submitted the book to publishers, and as soon as I have any type of release date, I will get back to you and let you know that information about the release date. All right, my nonprofit, Camp Doghouse, my homeless veteran shelter in the Central Florida area, can now be found at campdoghouse.org. Remember, this is my attempt to alleviate the veteran homelessness issue in Central Florida. Be sure to check out my website, sergeantwardawgtv.com, as well as Facebook page, YouTube channel, and Instagram page, Sergeant WarDawg TV. You can find me on X at Sergeant War. All right, remember, I am a co-host for DV Radio. That's Dysfunctional Veterans Radio and their Barracks Talk podcast. We go live every Saturday night, including tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. For any former military members that want to laugh, joke, or just listen to a show that reminds them of what it was like to live in the barracks again. All right. My second podcast, Bullets, Blades, and Hooks, goes out and interviews veterans organizations that help veterans get back into the outdoors, whether that's hunting, camping, fishing, or shooting. Bullets, Blades, and Hooks interviews the veterans organizations that seek to get veterans outdoors and utilize outdoor therapy. All right, I am a brand ambassador for Reaper Apparel Co. So you can use my code Sergeant WarDawg TV for 10% off of your entire order. For you fans of SHOT Show, we are media members. We do have a media pass this year. So within the next 2 weeks, you will see us at SHOT Show filming on the showroom floor, bringing you the latest and greatest new gear and weapons for the outdoors, hunting, military, or law enforcement. All right. As media members, we've been invited to the Industry Day at the Range, or Range Day at SHOT Show. We were invited to shoot weapons with Glock, Radian Weapons, Horizon Firearms, Mitchell Defense, PTR Industries, and Cadix Defense. So be sure to catch our footage on Industry Range Day here in the next 2 weeks when SHOT Show begins. All right. We are media members of the National Shooting Sports Foundation, the NSSF, the organization that owns and runs SHOT Show. We will soon be media members of the Professional Outdoor Media Association, POMA. For all of my predator hunters, those that like to go after coyotes and wild hogs, those that like to use their night vision and thermal vision, this is the Ecotech Helion Plus Game Caller. It has a variety of sounds available to help you acquire your target harvest. Okay, as always, this is the WarDawg Trail podcast. And if you're interested in advertising on Sergeant WarDawg TV, the show can be found on the outlets that you see before you, and you can listen to the audio podcast on the outlets that you see below. As always, this is Sergeant WarDawg TV and the WarDawg Trail podcast. I am your host, Sergeant WarDawg, and we are here in episode 83 with the one, the only, Mr. Michael Blake from Offshore Kinetics MV in Massachusetts. Michael, welcome to the show.
Hey, brother. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All right. Now, as I understand it, you're fresh off a hot detail, right?
Yeah, man. I'm a security consultant. I handle a full range of I don't know, I guess you could say mission sets. My company not only provides training to the security community, but we also support various operations and, for different clients. So yeah, we run a detail, 05 in the morning yesterday, drove 4 hours to Miami, was on the client till 4 a.m. the next day, changed gear, got back on the turnpike. Now I'm back in Orlando. So yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh, nice. I didn't realize you were in the Orlando area. I'm not far from you.
Yeah. Offshore Kinetics is a small business, DBA, registered in New England and Massachusetts, but we operate out of mainly Orlando and Miami. Yeah, I'm over by the Millennium Mall. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm about a half hour away in Claremont. If you've ever heard of Claremont.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Absolutely. But again, I appreciate you having me on. I heard about your platform. I'm a real proponent for anything that helps veterans and tells our story. So, I had to take this opportunity,
Definitely, definitely. Now, if you don't mind, let's start off
Yeah, let's
by
get into it.
let's talk about your background in the military with the Army, if you don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, I joined the Army in August 13th of 96. I'm an old guy. I survived 3 different camouflage patterns since I've been in, you know what I mean, and got out. Uh, growing up as a child, I had family members that are in the military, my grandfather, my sister. It's something I always wanted to do. So I joined the Army in 1996 as a 19 kilo tank crewman, right? I didn't
Nice.
understand. Yeah, I didn't understand the process of how to join or nothing like that. So I just like sign me up, and they gave me a bunch of options, and I knew that I wanted to fight because I come from a small community in New England where, back in my day, if you didn't, it's an island. Where they filmed Jaws is where I'm from,
Nice.
and yeah. But it's like any other small town, when you were a kid in the late 90s, if you didn't get off the island and find something to do, you'd probably still be there. And I didn't really want a part of that, you know what I mean? I wanted to get out,
Right.
see the world, and I wanted to do something different. So, like I said, I joined the Army in 96, came in as a tank crewman, uh, served in, Kentucky, Kansas, Iraq, Kuwait. I got four tours on the ground for about 4 years and some change total time on the ground in Iraq. Once I progressed a little bit in my career, the Army started to restructure their posture as far as reconnaissance assets. So basically, your Army Maneuver Division, I'm talking about your 1st Armored Division, 101st, all those units that people know about, usually had about 3 maneuver brigades. In the middle of the war on terror, the Army decided to add another brigade and a full recon element. So they were asking tank guys, hey, who wants to become a scout and be a recon guy? And I was like, man, that sounds like a good time. I already had 2
Yeah.
deployments. You know what I mean? I already had 2 deployments on my belt on tanks. I enjoyed it. But I felt there was more flexibility for me to like put my own little, leave my own little mark on the battlefield, do things I want to do. And, when you're a 25-year-old dude and you've got this 72-ton animal that keeps you in the motor pool and dirty, I'm like, man, I don't want to do this anymore, man. You know what I mean? I love to do it. Got to kill a lot of bad guys on those platforms, but I was like, I want to do something different. So I went over to the reconnaissance side, started pushing scout platoons, mainly out of Fort Hood. A lot of close observation overseas. Mainly what we would do is establish eyes on a specific NAI, named area of interest, or a specific target, maintain eyes until our maneuver element can action on them, whether it's another platoon, cordon and search, X, Y, and Z. And I really enjoyed it. But one of the things that really kind of stuck out to me was the training aspect, training soldiers, developing training plans to meet whatever upcoming missions we had. Because I saw the writing on the wall as a staff sergeant. I'm like, I'm obviously not going to be in the Army forever. What can I take forward with me when I transition to the other side? So I really caught the bug for training. As a young E6, I linked up with a company outside of Dallas when I was in Fort Hood, and basically started teaching. Me and my guys would shoot CQB or something like that down in Fort Hood Thursday and Friday, and Saturday morning I was driving 3 hours north to Dallas to go teach the same stuff to law enforcement. You know what I mean?
Good deal.
Yeah. And over time I was like, I can make some money with this utilizing the same skills that I use in the military. And I think that term gets thrown around a lot. You know what I mean? Especially in the protection field. A lot of guys feel that, being a veteran, maybe having a deployment, maybe being a gun guy is a good in to that industry. But really, when I speak to veterans, what I want to know is, if they ask me about bodyguarding or something like that, my question is not so much this, tell me about route planning. Tell me what you know about imagery analysis. If we only have 5 minutes to get our principal to this location, what can you tell me about it? Funny stuff, troop leading procedures. It sounds hokey, but in certain aspects outside the military, you can apply these same procedures to get pretty quick results. You know what I mean? All our PCCs and PCIs that we hated to do before missions, me and my guys do it now. You know what I mean? Before we go pick up that rapper, that whoever we're protecting, all right, do we got our portable metal detectors, comms, spare mags, all that stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so my company, Offshore Kinetics, we try to leverage knowledge at the senior level. I'm a former E7. My partner, he's currently deployed in Jordan. He was a Marine warrant officer, or Marine guns, I believe you guys call it. I don't speak Marine, bro.
I saw he was a gunner. I saw it on your website.
Yeah, Jeremy, man, that guy is a force of nature, and I'm glad he's on our side. Then I have another gentleman who's law enforcement, and then a couple other veterans that I bring in as the mission dictates. Yeah, but yeah, man, I enjoyed the military. Like I said, I served 16 years total, from 96 to 2013, stationed all over the place. Deployed. My first deployment was in 1999 under Clinton for the Kosovo operation.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, we deployed to Camp Able Sentry, Macedonia in 99 to provide force protection for Falcon Rear. First taste of, the real military, you know what I mean? Once you get in and, that first opportunity when you're on the ground, and like, here's some bullets. I'm like, yo, it's about to go down out here, man. There was nothing going down. You know what I mean? Deployed to Kuwait a million times, just like everybody else. A lot of time in Iraq, mainly Baghdad. Central Baghdad, and I had one deployment up north to Mosul. But yeah, man, I'm a Solder City guy. I was over in Solder City in 04, 05. That taught me a lot. As far as how to lead in combat, how to take care of your guys. You know what I mean? Because from June to 04, June to 05, man, we were in Solder City, which is a Shia slum, if you will. It's a Shia community on the northern fringe of Baghdad. If you look on a map, it looks like a box, and there's like 3 million people living in this couple square mile box. And at the time, they didn't like you, man. Like it was some rough going. Back 04, 05, you had Solder City, Fallujah, Ramadi, and if you heard those names, you were like, oh man. But successful deployments. We lost a guy here and there over the years, but I'm blessed, man. I'm really pleased to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right on. I want to thank you. I was personally on my second tour in Fallujah when you said you were in Solder City. So you're right.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned Ramadi and Ramadi. Oh, wow. In the flesh. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Only those that have been there and seen it would understand.
It's funny, man. When I transitioned over to the law enforcement side for a few years, I worked night booking for my community sheriff's office. So basically I would process incoming arrests, right? But my collateral duty was a long gun guy on our SWAT team. I was a sniper, me and my partner. And so in 2015, they paid for our team to go to New York for the New York Tactical Officers Association. There's this big conference at this casino, right? And there's SWAT officers from New York, Jersey, Pennsylvania, all over the place, right? I was in line waiting for one of our events to start, and one of the senior trainers, I think he was like an FBI guy, he saw my tattoo. He's like, yo, Solder City. And then started telling him, he's like, yo, this guy right here, you know what I mean?
Right on.
Yeah, man.
Right on.
We take those tough times that we've been to, and I try to gather those lessons learned and then apply them the best I can. You know what I'm saying? Sauter City taught me the importance of operational physical fitness. You know what I'm saying? On August 16th, 2004, was it? Yeah, 2004. We got caught in a pretty bad engagement. It lasted about 16 hours. Me and the boys call it Bloody Monday. We lost a tank. You know, when you lose an Abrams, when you lose an Abrams tank on the battlefield, you know, it's a rough day. So, you know, like I said, like physical fitness, stuff like that. If guys weren't prepared, I don't think we would have got out of that. But we had a platoon sergeant he's a CSM now, Peace to Command Sergeant Major Langs. Man, this brother still runs like a 12 2-mile or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he really impressed upon us, you know what I mean? Because you hear the military, you know, we're all, you know, we like to give each other shit, all that stuff, you know, of fat tankers in the Army. Oh, look at the fat tankers. It's like, well, I'll tell you, I must have been in the wrong platoon because all we did was run. You know what I mean? But, you know, like I said, it's detailed planning, physical fitness, maintaining mental clarity when you're in a crisis situation. Like I took those lessons away and I try to present those lessons learned to our students so that they can be successful moving forward. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right. Great deal. Now, let's transition into talking about Offshore Kinetics MV.
Okay.
What year did that actually start?
Man, offshore started, first of all, I'm from an island called Martha's Vineyard. We've been really popular the last year when the Florida governor sent a bunch of migrants to our island. Not sure why he did that, to be honest. I think it was some kind of political thing because there's a lot of liberal figures that stay there in the summer. You know what I mean? Gotcha. I'm thinking, you know, and they're like, yeah, well, you know, let President Obama and them have it. I'm like, yeah, President Obama has a house there. He's only there about 4 days out of the year, but all right, you know what I mean? You know, but no, man, I'm from Martha's Vineyard. We do get it's a summer resort community, if you will. The movie Jaws was filmed there. That movie Jump in the Broom with that portions that were filmed there. It was supposed to take place where I'm from. We have a historical Black community that has been there for years that makes it a special place to grow up. You know what I mean? Senior HBCU alumni, UN figures, which, you know, I'm mixed. I'm German and Jamaican. My mother's white. My father's Black. You know what I mean? So great place to grow up. So when I got out of the military, I needed something to do. You know what I mean? I got out and I'm like, well, I'm going to apply to Blackwater. I'm going to apply to Triple Canopy. I'm going to, you know, all your contracting agencies. But I had a police chief hit me up. They're like, we've got these news sites called EOTax. They're like, can you help us out? And I'm like, yeah, man, I got you. And so I was already teaching classes to a couple individual officers on the weekends. And they're like, well, could you do a class for us? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. You know, task condition standards. That's what NCOs do. You know what I mean? I got you, you know? Right. And they're like, well, what's your name of your company? And it's Offshore Kinetics because it's an island. We're located 7 miles offshore. Kinetics energy comes from the Sabo penetrators from my tank days, you know, kinetic energy, action, reaction, MV from Martha's Vineyard. And we've been going strong ever since, brother, since 2013. And so basically what Offshore Kinetics is, we are a full service training and consulting company. If your security agency needs your people brought up to speed on any of your pertinent hard skills, whether it's advanced pistol, rifle, all that good stuff that most guys already teach, but also crisis management, situational awareness, medical, stop the bleed, all that good stuff. We provide that to the security community. Because getting out of the military, I kind of looked after working private security part-time in Texas, armed, and I was like, you know, the training aspect is lacking from this industry. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
When people think of private security, they think of that fat guy sleeping, you know, at the mall. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so my thing was, it's like, you know, I've already worked at a high level in the military. And so I was like, you got a choice. Like, you can sit here and like make fun of that man, or if you have the knowledge and resources to impart that knowledge and make him better. And so that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. You know what I mean? I'd rather pick, I'd rather pick somebody up than put them down. And so to date, now Offshore Kinetics has been around for about 10 years. And my motto is our students are our currency. You know, back in the days, they used to say soldiers are our credentials, right? Some general said that. Well, students are our currency. You know what I mean? We don't make a lot of money doing this business, but I can say that Doja Cat is protected by one of my students. Lil Durk is protected by one of my students.
Okay.
The Toronto Raptors, 2 seasons ago, their lead security was one of my students. Meek Mill, one of my students, protects him. Summer Walker was protected by one of my students. So, you know, being able to say that my guys are out in the field, Burna Boy, his lead security is protected by my students. You know, so being able to see guys out in the field working, doing good work, setting the example, like that's where I get the most return. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's amazing, man.
And I had to rep today, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
yeah,
man, let me throw. I had to throw on my cross sabers real quick. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But yeah.
Of course.
So what we try to do is we try to give security professionals the tools necessary to help them operate at a high level, you know, in the old fit hits the shan type of thing. You know what I mean? And we've been pretty successful, and I'm proud of that. We you know, you looked at my website, all of our instructors are heavily vetted. Heavily vetted, highly experienced. We have my man Jarrett, who I was actually on a detail with last night. I had a training accident. He was the guy who tied off the tourniquet when I blew up my fingers here with a flashbang a couple years ago.
Wow.
But like, for example, Jarrett was Air Force guy, and he was on the ambassador's detail for the State Department. Same thing with Jeremy. So whenever we get students in front of us, we try to present the best product we can, whether it's through, you know, our curriculum, delivery, all that. We try to package up and give our training to the client at a, you know, that it's palatable and useful. So yeah, that's what we do at Offshore, and you know what I mean, in so many words, brother. You know, yeah.
Great. So you instruct as well as provide actual executive protection?
Yeah, absolutely. What I do is we consult. We're not a security company, and here's a military term for you. Ready? We train, advise, and assist our clients, right? But if something happens to go down while I'm there, I mean, I'm going to have to step in. What can I say? But yeah, man, I've done just last year alone. I'm not going to name drop, but I mean, I protected a pretty well-known artist at Rolling Loud here in down in Miami, and that turned to a month-long detail. Living down in Miami for almost a month, then out in Las Vegas, and then out in LA. I protected Hulk Hogan, which was pretty interesting. Yeah, man, I protected Hulk Hogan out in Vegas, and great guy, loves veterans. Great client to work for, you know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah, man. So, you know, we did the J. Cole Dreamville Festival up in North Carolina. I'm affiliated with a company that provides coverage for J. Cole. So it's cool, man. You know what I mean? It was a process. Executive protection isn't an entry-level job. I get a lot of guys hit me up like, yo, how do I protect celebrities? And it's like, well, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, okay, what are your qualifications? How long you been working? What's your security background? You know what I mean? Like, what's your level of training? That's a huge one. You know what I mean? And again, unfortunately, a lot of guys will reach out to me and they're like, Mike, I love what you're doing. You know, I was in the Army for X, Y, and Z. I was a 0311, this and that. Man, I can shoot. And I'm like, bruh, the only thing you can do is shoot. I'm going to be honest. I can't use you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need guys. A mentor of mine said, I need thinkers who can shoot, not shooters who can think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but yeah, man, we're really proud to provide our services. We've trained everyone from beginner civilians to support training for SOF, us, and other countries. I was on a contract and supported Canada's Tier 1 unit out in the Florida Everglades for a while. It was, yeah, man, so we give the client what they need, man. I like to joke and tell people, you know, we can do basic pistol, hand-to-hand, all the way up to cruisers if you got them. I mean, show up with a 50. I'll have a lesson plan for you. You know what I mean? You know?
Right on.
Yeah, brother. So, yeah, man, that's it in a nutshell, man.
Right on. Okay. Now, let's see. What can we expect from Offshore in the future?
Oh, man. Okay. We have private training available all the time. DM us on @Offshore Training MV on IG. That's the best way to get in touch with us. We schedule private training either up here in the Orlando area, down in Miami, or at the range of your choice anywhere in the world. All right. So, you know, if you got any Saudi oil princes or anything, you know, tell them to holler at a brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, we could use that money over here. But no, man, we always provide private training, and our private one-on-one and small group training. We established a dialogue with the client, establish what the training goals are, what everyone's existing skill level is, and we'll shape our curriculum to meet them. And again, that's hands-on up to, you know, whatever you got to shoot. I mean, I'm going to stop at 120 millimeter smoothbore. I can't teach anything past that. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So coming up January 21st, the week after next, we have our initial skills class, and that is our enhanced. It's a care under fire course. It's our enhanced pistol course meshed with our stop the bleed. So you're getting really comprehensive fundamentals-based pistol shooting married up with your stop the bleed, your tourniquet application, wound packing, all that good stuff. We package that up. That's January 21st at Homestead Training Center, just south of Miami. You can find that on the website. In March 22nd, 24th, we're on the West Coast. We're out in California doing our 3-day protective skills workshop. That is your one-stop shop for security professionals. That covers all your hard skills, your hands-on crisis management, active shooter response, stop the bleed. And I work in conjunction with C2T2 training, a brother named Jason Kelly, who teaches hand-to-hand to military units up and down the East Coast, Fort Bragg, Lejeune, X, Y, and Z. So again, whenever we do something, man, I'm not going to bring out garbage instructors. I can't do it. Then in June, we have a Miami workshop from, it's June 12th through the 14th down in Miami. Same 3-day workshop, great curriculum, covers everything you need. You really get to test yourself. And then in the springtime, we're out in Pennsylvania doing in Pennsylvania, they call private security an Act 235 agent. The state actually issues badges, which I think is pretty cool, because usually security badges, they don't mean nothing. They're jewelry. Like, right. I get it, bro. You know what I mean? But we'll be out there running guns in the Pennsylvania Pocono Mountains. And then, you know, so yeah, man, we got a lot on the calendar, and you know, I always try to stay moving, you know, so yeah.
Awesome. You did already mention it, but if you don't mind, just one more time, will you let everyone know where they can find you online, whether it's social media
absolutely.
or website?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, again, thanks for having me. I'm an old man. I ramble sometimes, you know what I mean? No, you can find us at Offshore Training MV. That's at Offshore Training MV, as in Mike Victor. and we respond pretty quickly to your questions. You know, if you want to schedule training, reach out to us. You know, we sell a little bit of merch. We got hoodies, we got targets, stuff like that. But yeah, man, that's the best way to reach out to us, and our website links on the IG.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, you're my kind of guy. You're my kind of operator, right? So this next question, I didn't mention that I was going to ask about it. I didn't mention that I was going to ask about SWAT versus infantry, but it takes a certain type of operator like you for me to be able to ask. You know what I mean? So, can you give us your thoughts on what do you feel are the differences or similarities between SWAT operations and infantry operations?
Yeah, I mean, they certainly have a lot of parallels, right?
Right.
We're all wearing gear. We're bringing out the long gun, so that's one. The other parallel is, you know, wanting to bring your people home safe. So that's what you got right there. Other than that, 1 and 2 are not the same. And again, I get a lot of young vets hit me up asking questions about how to get into these areas. And you have to understand that our skills and knowledge that we get in either the Marine Infantry School, the Army Infantry OSIT at Benning, whatever, it's for a completely different mission set. You know what I mean?
Right.
Your SWAT operations are solely in place to save lives and to render the community safe, be it whether it's a barricaded gunman, X, Y, and Z, right? Render the neighborhood safe, take that suspect into custody, not necessarily shoot him, right? Whereas infantry is find, fix, and destroy. I mean, it's pretty clear cut. Now, do we do the same shit? Absolutely. You know, me and my partner, when we would do exercises, would stalk in our ghillie suits, right? I got it right in my bag over here, and observe the target house, and call reports all day. Like I tell people, I'm like, yo, being a SWAT sniper is not as cool as you think it is. 1, you're probably not going to shoot anything, and 2, your primary job, like a military sniper, is to relay information on the like on the quick. So basically, if I'm looking at a building, we have a system to where if you're looking at a structure, we'll deem the front, the number 1 side, and then every side of the building, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is numbered. Now the windows and doors are numbered. So basically, I'd be in a hide position on the gun and spend hours. All right, suspect just moved from left to right, window number 1, and my partner's here writing it down. All right, suspect's up, he's drinking a Coke. Like, bro, this isn't some whiz bang shit. You know what I mean? Like, it gets old fast. You know what I mean? So the difference is some of the skill sets and methods are the same. Breaching, SWAT teams have come a long way, taken lessons learned overseas, sharing TTPs of soft units. So things like breaching techniques and stuff may be the same in certain situations. But SWAT operations and infantry operations are just 2 different animals, bro. You know what I mean?
2 different animals.
To be good at both requires, you know, dedication to training, skills, physical fitness, education. And there's your difference there too. It's like, you know, if you're an 0311, you're an infantry guy, right? Right. So you come out of school of infantry, go to your unit, and boom, you're an infantryman. Most, if not all, law enforcement agencies, they require you to have at least 2 years on the road before you can even apply to try out for SWAT. Okay. And the reason why is that they want that experience base to be able to handle these dynamic situations. Shooting can be taught. We can run the shit out of you, get you in shape, get you in the gym. But it's that mindset aspect that, you know, most SWAT operators are more senior officers and more time on the job. Whereas your infantry, or like say my infantry scout platoon, bro, I got 3 kids from Nebraska who are like 17. You know what I mean? Like, it's a totally different animal, you know? So yeah, man, that's the difference right there. Yeah. One is to serve and protect, preserve life. The other one is to, you know, what did my drill sergeant say? Kill people and break things. You know? Yeah.
Oh shit, I like that. I really like that. All right. All right.
I mean, we
Man,
both wear camouflage. That's cool, but yeah, that's about it.
Thank you for that, because it takes a certain type of operator for me to be able to get an understanding and an answer from, and just listen to the way you speak and listening to everything that you can just tell that you know what you're talking about and that you've been there and done that, and that's why I knew you're one of the guys that I can ask that question to.
I appreciate it, bro. I'll be honest with you, man. Since I've been 18 years old, I've only had 2 jobs where I haven't had to carry a weapon. Just 2. When I first got out of the Army, I was trying to get on a contract, man. That severance cheese got a little light, and I took a job as a church as a sextant. A sextant is a fancy church term for janitor. That didn't work very long. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I cleaned the pews. I vacuumed the sanctuary. It didn't work out, Yeah. The second time was after I was on a contract and the company folded. I was trained in the military, and I tried working at GNC for like 2 months. That didn't work neither. So, you know what I mean? This is all I do. I don't really know what else to do, man. It sounds corny, but shoot, move, and communicate. You know what I mean? I just try to leverage those competencies in the civilian market. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right. I won't take up any more of your time, but I just wanted to ask you that one final question that I ask all of the guests. All right.
Okay. All right.
If you can give me your 3 favorite firearms, regardless of category or class or anything, just the 3 when you feel like, hey, I want to get some rounds down range and it's going to make me feel good.
Okay. My 3, favorite platforms, I would say, is if I need for a everyday carry or a work pistol, I'm gonna go with like last night I had my Glock 43 MOS in a T-Rex arms holster. Yeah, with a T-Rex arms holster and a Snake Staff Systems tourniquet. First of all, piece to Snake Staff Systems. Look them up. They I know you said don't show any hardware, so I won't. But if you look on my holster here,
all right.
I have this tourniquet. It's from a company called Snake Staff Systems, and what they do is they make miniature tourniquets that are big enough to fit in a ammo pouch for a regular pistol magazine. Yeah,
that's
so I
game
got these,
changer.
Bro. I got these big meaty hands. You can see they're very small compared to a cat or a soft T or something like that. Yeah, so. Glock 19 or my 43 for everyday carry or as everyday sidearm. If I'm going to work, any standard AR will do the job. But I mean, I can shoot anything, man. Like you know what I mean? Like, no. But like what I try to impress upon my students is that once you master fundamentals, you can pick up just about everything. You know what I mean? So if we're doing any kind of standard work, any kind of entry, any kind of patrolling, standard AR does the job. And coming from the long gun community, I'll take anything in a 6.5 Creedmoor. I grew up shooting 308, 7.62, bolt guns. Now with that new 6.5 round, man, I had a funny story. I was a contractor out in the Everglades and I had a private long range class with a gentleman, right? Yeah. It's Desert Storm vet. He comes out, man. He's got a like Macmillan rifle with all this dope glass, like brand new Vortex Viper scope, like real expensive.
Nice.
And he's shooting 6.5 Creedmoor, and I'm supposed to work for him for 2 days. So I'm like, all right, I got you. We go out to the range. I'm like, all right. Gave him his dope for his gun. Takes that shot at 100. Ting. I'm like, all right, cool. Takes like 3 more shots, right? And that 6.5 Creedmoor is so flat, you don't have to put a lot of adjustments on it, right?
Right.
So he says, hey, Mike, I want to try for one of the long ones. I'm like, all right, go ahead and put 8 minutes on your gun. Go ahead and send one at 1,000. Ping! And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, what am I going to work with this guy for the next 2 days on if he's already ringing steel at 1,000? You know what I'm saying? Because it's that 6.5 Creedmoor round for long range precision shooting. I mean, there's other stuff out there that'll go farther. 300 Win Mag, 338 Lapua. Everyone knows that, but you know, that 6.5 Creedmoor round, anything out of that would be my third favorite platform. Up close, in between, and far away. That's all you need. Something to bridge those gaps. You know what I mean? And we'll go from there. But yeah, brother, that's what I got, man. And again, I appreciate you having me. We'll have to chop it up since I'm around the corner. You know what I'm saying? We'll do one of these live, you know?
Right on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Michael Blake from Offshore Kinetics MV. This is episode 84 of the WarDawg Trail podcast. Michael, I can't thank you enough, man. This is why I started
for having me, brother.
Podcast. This is
I appreciate
the exact
it.
reason.
No, I appreciate it. Keep using your platform to teach the world about veteran stories. I think it's very important. If your listeners look at Struggle Beyond the Decade on YouTube, Struggle Beyond the Decade on YouTube, season 2, I'm in I used to hold a 26.2 mile road march to promote PTSD awareness. We did it for about 6 years, then the pandemic kind of shut us down. That fizzled out. But take a look at Struggle Beyond the Decade. Support your local veterans groups, you know, your VFWs, and you keep up the good work, brother. You're doing a good job out here. We appreciate it.
Right on. Thanks a lot, Mike. Hey, I know you coming off your assignment, so you go ahead and rest up, man. Rest up, and we really appreciate you coming on the show, boss.
Yeah, I'm a rest up. All right, man.
All right, have a good one now.
Thanks for having me, brother. Stay safe out there. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 84 of the WarDawg Trail podcast. Salute.
All I know is war. All I know is shoot. All I want is more, but I got some things to do. I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you. I'm a soldier, I'm a warrior. Got an emblem on my cover. And ask me what I did for ya. I put the trash deep down under. Yeah, I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you. Yeah.
Took some time in the place, man. I just needed some space. All the pain show in my face and my heart starts to...
That's the show for today, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. And remember, you can listen to us again and again. The podcast of this radio show is available right after we go off the air tonight, anywhere that you can get your podcast episodes. And thanks for joining us today. I'd like to take a moment to talk about something close to my heart. Military Broadcast Radio is doing incredible work to support our veterans and bring their voices to the world. They rely on your generous donations and your dedicated volunteer hours to make it happen. I encourage you to consider supporting NBR in any way, form that you can. Use this QR code that's attached to the picture, or you can go to our website at mbradio.us. That's Mike Bravo Radio.us to learn more about how you can donate or volunteer even just an hour a week from your home. Help make a difference in the lives of our veterans, because once again, we're all here for you and not for us. We're giving our veterans a voice.